Station ASMR. For today's video, I thought we could do April and May reading book review, reading list review. I don't know what I'm going to title this, but something along those lines. Also, this is my second time recording this. I just finished and the audio wasn't recording, so that's annoying, but what can you do? So, I have been doing quite a bit of reading on my iPad on the Kindle app. So I decided to get Kindle Unlimited because I was reading a few books and I was like, well, if they're on Kindle Unlimited, it's just going to work out cheaper anyway. So most of these books are on Kindle Unlimited. The first two that I read on my Kindle, on my Kindle app, aren't on Kindle Unlimited. And I also read those a little bit earlier, but I'll just mention them anyway because they're going to pop up here. So, the first book that I read was Blue Sisters, which looks like this. I tried to click on it to get like a big picture, but it just takes me to like where it was in the book. Here. This is the Blue Sisters cover. I do like the cover, I must say. However, I read this book because it had such good reviews, but for me, I just don't think it's the right genre, because I think, for me, the best books are the ones that have like a plot twist and are like a page turn, or it's like what's going to happen next. But that one, like, I was kind of waiting for something to happen and it never really came. But I don't think that's the book's fault. I think it was the expectations that I had, which is wrong. So yeah. Personally, it wasn't my favourite, but I wouldn't say it's a bad book. Anyways, so the next book I read was The Silent Patient, and this was like maybe my first book that was like this genre. So this is the cover. And if you're on my book talk or anything, even like you probably heard of this, I think it's really famous. I personally loved it. Basically, it's about this girl who is accused of killing her husband, or basically she's found with her husband's dead body and she's holding a gun. And after that she does not speak, hence the silent patient. So then there's this therapist who wants to like find out what happened, so he goes to work where she's like institutionalized and wants to like treat her and find out what happened, why she doesn't speak. And then there's a big plot twist at the end, and I thought it was really good. It kept me like wanting to know more. Yeah, and it got me into this genre of reading pretty much. So that one was really good, and I'd recommend that if you're into like thriller books. Is it? I think it's thriller maybe. Anyways, if you want a page turner, that is a page turner. So after that I read the Housemaid series, and I finished this book in a couple of days. I'm pretty sure. So this is the cover, and this is by Frida McFadden. And again, if you're on any sort of like book talk or anything, you must have heard of it. You probably have. It's really popular at the moment. I'm pretty sure they're turning it into a film. So I read the first one, obviously, and I loved it. It's about a girl called Millie who is homeless, and she gets a job as a housemaid for like this couple and they have a daughter, and she works with them. And there's like a live-in job, and then there's also a gardener called Enzo. And yeah, it's about what happens then when she becomes the housemaid, and then there's like a plot twist, and it's like, oh my god. will leave you questioning a lot, and it was really good. And again, definitely a page turner. I definitely need a book that grips me straight away to stay interested, otherwise I'm just like, what's the point? Anyways, after that, and straight away I started reading the second one in the series, which is The Housemaid's Secret. This one was maybe even better than the first one. It was really good. Again, you think you know what's going on, and then it turns out you have no idea what's going on, and like you've been tricked, and it's just so good. It's like, oh my god, what's going on? So I really enjoyed that one, and then as soon as I finished that one, I read the third one, which is The Housemaid is Watching. And again, so basically all of these are following the same character, Millie. She's the housemaid, so this is the cover for The Housemaid is Watching. And this one was maybe a little bit slower than the first two, but I personally still really enjoyed it. I really like the characters in it anyway, so I enjoyed following them. A lot of people say it's not as good. It's maybe not as good, but I definitely think it's still worth the read. And then after that, Frida published The Housemaid's Wedding, which is just a novella. It's about an hour long, and it just feels there's quite a big gap in time between the second and the third book, so it just fills some of the gap in between that. And the cover looks like this. I think this is my favourite cover. It's got a little bit more going on, but yeah, that one was good as well. But again, it was only a novella, so it wasn't that much like happening. But yeah, so after that I read The Favourite Girl, and I saw this recommended on Facebook, and I haven't seen much about it on TikTok, so I don't know if I think it's quite underrated. But this book was crazy. This book was so good. I loved it. I could not stop reading it. The whole time I was like, what is going on? But yeah, it was amazing, but it was very dark. So if you wanted to read it and there's a few things you're triggered by, definitely check the trigger warnings first, because there's a lot going on in that book. And also there's a sequel that came out like literally the other day. I haven't had a chance to read it yet. I'm on the third chapter now, but from the like trigger warnings at the beginning of the book, it's going to be a whole lot darker than the first one, so I'm excited. I think it's going to be really good, but I'm also a bit scared. Anyways, so those were really good. I would definitely recommend if you don't mind the topics being quite heavy. After that, I read That's Not My Name, and this is by this is by Megan Lally. And it looks like this. And I devoured this book. So basically, I didn't explain what The Favourite Girl's about, but there's just so much going on there. Basically, this girl, again, a homeless girl, gets a job as a housemaid. That was a coincidence, I didn't realise that, but The Favourite Girl is like The Housemaid on steroids. I wouldn't read them in the other order, because if you start reading The Housemaid after The Favourite Girl, you'll be like, this is quite tame. But yeah, That's Not My Name. It starts basically a girl wakes up in a ditch. She doesn't know where she is. Like, she can't remember. She doesn't know her name. She doesn't know anything. And like police come and pick her up. And then also it's told from her perspective, as well as a perspective from a boy who's lost his girlfriend, she's like disappeared as well. And it's really good. It gripped me like straight away, and it's really page turning, I found. Yeah, I would definitely recommend that one. I'd recommend all of these, to be honest. I haven't had a book recently that I've been like, oh, that was no good. I don't know if I've just been lucky or if I'm just easily pleased. And then after that I read Never Lie by Frida McFadden again. There's a few more Frida McFadden books I would like to read because I've really been enjoying them. This is what the cover looks like. Her books are really easy to read, but I find them really gripping, but they're not like, they're easy to read, but like in a good way, because I don't want anything too complicated, like too difficult. But yeah, this is about a couple who go to view a house that's like in the middle of nowhere, and once they get there, or like on their way, a huge snowstorm starts. So basically they can't drive back to the city because the roads are full of snow, so they decide to just stay at the house. And it's the house of a psychiatrist or like a therapist who also published books, so she's like famous, who'd like disappeared a few years prior. And yeah, they stay in this house, and it's about what happens next. And there's a huge plot twist, and then another plot twist, and I thought it was really good. So basically any book with a big plot twist is good in my books. Literally in my books. So yeah, that's all the books that I've read recently. If you have any recommendations you think I'd like based off of them, please let me know. Always looking for new book recommendations.